So this is my review of the NitroPlanes AirField SkyTrainer 400, otherwise known as a Cessna 400. It's a gorgeous looking plane, guys. I enjoy it. But I wanted to give you an honest review, not sponsored by anyone. I bought this from NitroPlanes. I also bought 2 batteries off of Hobby Parts, which is a NitroPlanes affiliate. It was cheaper to order a battery charger. I got the Sky Charger, plus these 2 batteries. I'd owned a different charger before that I really liked too, but I broke it tearing it apart. I'm an idiot. Anyway, I got these 2 batteries, much cheaper to order through Hobby Parts. The battery I flew this on was, I have an 11.1 volt 25C 1800 milliamp. And the second one is a 2200 milliamp 20C. Couldn't really tell the difference between the 2 batteries, and it was a little windy today, 5 to 10 mile an hour wind, a little gusty. So to get the speeds, I wasn't able to quite tell the difference in performance. I think they were about the same. Anyway, let me tell you about the build. When I got it, it came in a package that was packaged well. The only problem with it when I pulled it out was the rudder was slightly bent. That bent right back, no problem. Started building it, and everything went really well, really simple to build. Had one real issue in the build, and that was that the cowl screw here went in. But on the other side, I had to put in a T-pin and a little bit of tape. The reason for that was there was no backing washer in there, so a little quality control issue. Other than that, it went together just fine. Once I got it built, I turned it on, and the motor seized immediately. Kind of freaked me out for a second, thinking I had a bad motor. Turned out that the nose cone was brushing against the cowl. I should have noticed that before I even started, but it melted a part of the cowl and then locked it up. I then just took it apart, took the cowl and heated it up with a lighter and bent it in to give it a little more room. I feel like there should have been a nut or a bolt to go onto the shaft to stop it at a certain point so there'd be more room. It wasn't in there. I don't know if that's an oversight and a miss, another quality control thing, or if this is just the way it was built to be put together. It's not a stunt flyer. I'll tell you my first flight experience. I had done some reading and I heard that it's tail heavy, and it is the front nose gear is weak and will break. Well, sure enough, I hooked it up all stock except for my Spectrum. I'm flying it on a Spectrum radio. Got it up in the air and immediately noticed it was flying, fluttering, and I attributed that to definitely being tail heavy. So I brought it in for the best landing that I could on grass. The grass was pretty short, but as soon as it touched down on the grass, it stopped in its tracks and I heard a big crack. That was the nose, the landing gear there. The front landing gear broke. So that was my first flight experience. I am curious how NitroPlanes can say they got it right out of the box and flew it as well as they did. I'm just curious about it, not making any accusations. But I do love the plane. It's 5 stars on beauty. Second flight, after some modifications. What I did to modify for the second flight was I messed with the battery compartment and hollowed it out a little more so the battery could slide much further forward. Put a little piece of foam to stop it from sliding too far forward, and glued that in, and then put a little piece of foam on the battery compartment door itself to hold it into place, the battery. That balanced it out much better. Second modification was fixing the nose gear, or the landing gear. The front landing gear was an easy fix. I used 2 popsicle sticks, stuck one behind, stuck one in front, and glued them together as best I could against the plastic, and the piece that broke, glued that back in. So now it has a little bit more pinching together. I will show some video or pictures of that and the other modification at the end of this review. So I was ready for my second flight. Like I said, today was my second flight, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. With it balanced much better, found the center of gravity, and boy, she flew much better. And when I say flew much better, she flies scale. This is definitely not an acrobatic plane. I wouldn't suggest trying to fly it inverted or upside down. I wouldn't suggest loops or rolls. On my second battery, I had a problem. I was flying around, did a little funky little stall, and sure enough, I saw something falling from the plane. It was the rear landing gear. Now, in the Nitros video, you can see that it's a very springy gear, and the gear I got had a cross-section bar to help support that landing gear so it wouldn't bend in and flex as much. So it was another piece running across. The only problem with that piece was it kept it from springing out in order to kind of lock more into the slot. So it fell out, and I should have noticed on my, right before that takeoff, I noticed that it seemed like it wanted to kind of fall out, and I just shoved it back in and took off. I should have taped it up, so I recommend taping your rear landing gear up or doing something to lock it into place better. Don't rely on it just staying in there. I was able to land it, and the repairs on the front landing gear seem to have been good enough. I came in for a picture-perfect belly landing, landed it on the nose, and then dropped the tail slightly. And because I landed on the track, I barely ground some of the styrofoam off the back here. Not bad. I was quite impressed with the damage. It was very minimal. Okay, so for the first mod I had to do was separate the space here, and all I had to do was melt this area a little bit. Heated it up with a lighter and just pushed it in, and was able to move the cowl back to give it some space so that it wouldn't rub on itself. Okay, so I have the cowl off, and we can look at the motor now. My issue with the motor, it definitely, see how this piece has a nut-shaped ending? I feel like this should go onto the shaft and stop at the bolt. That would have given me a lot more room, but there was no nut included. So instead, I'm putting this piece on first, and then this, and then the prop, and the prop head on top of there. It works, but I still feel like there should have been a bolt to give some more room. By the way, again, the motor is a G&C Hobby GC3536 KV800 by FMSmodels.com. I added a popsicle stick down in there, had to cut it so that it would open up so that the steerable nose gear would work. And let's see, as you can see, there's another popsicle stick behind the plastic firewall. I'll flip it back over so you can see what's going on there. Down in there, and I just stuck the piece in the back through there. Glued everything together from there. This piece, the top plastic piece right here, is what broke off. As you can see, the crack right there glued in. It holds now. Took some pretty good, decent, smooth landings and a belly landing as well. So I'm happy with it. Inside, we can take a better look at what's going on with the battery and the center of gravity. I, again, made it before the battery would not come out this end. So I hollowed out this area here and made sure that it could slide much further forward in. I added this little piece of foam with a T-pin just to stop it from sliding any farther forward and getting involved with any of the servos or the receiver there. As you can see, I added just an extension, and then on the wing I added the Y harness. So there you go. You have the inside view and you have the review. Again, a closer look at the damage of a belly landing. Not bad. It's a decent landing. I enjoy telling you guys how I feel about this plane. Leave comments. Let me know if this helped. Thanks again.